this podcast.
Hi guys, welcome once again to another yet but amazing episode. Today's episode is a delicate topic as we get to discuss the mindset and its effect on our mental health. Today, with a wonderful guest, we'll be discussing your mind, your mental health. They say we learn better or easily resonate with people's stories. So here we are. Let's listen as we hear transforming stories that will cause a paradigm shift of our mindsets. She is Urunne Amadi, a biomedical engineer in VIEW from the Federal University of Technology, Owerri. She's a content creator, copywriter, who has modeled for a couple of clothing line brands, and one who is gradually getting into the graphics and product design space. Please let's welcome Urunne to the house. Urunne, please say something to the listeners.
Hey, hi guys, and welcome to this podcast. I'm really happy to be here, and I can't wait to share about my experiences and my thoughts and my view on this topic. And I guess you guys will actually learn a lot. So just sit tight and enjoy.
Thank you so much, Urunne. That was a wonderful introduction. So firstly, speaking of mental health and its issues, over time, this has become a major issue, found lurking especially within the youths. We hear of suicide, panic attacks, anxiety, and depression. And one will ask, what is the root cause of all these happenings? Or what led to this stage? Like, at what point did this person get to this stage or this level of committing suicide or having panic attacks and the rest of them? Well, the answer is your mindset. And that's what we'll be speaking about on today's episode and its impact on our mental health. So Urunne, over to you. Defining mental health, how would you describe mental health? Or what is mental health?
Okay, to put it in a very simple term, I feel mental health basically includes our emotion, like our emotional, our psychological, and our social well-being. Okay, it affects how we think, how we feel, how we act. And it also helps to determine how we can handle stress and relate to others and make healthy choices. Mental health is important.
Yes, very important.
Yeah, at every stage of life, from childhood and adolescence through adulthood. So yeah, mental is just our emotional, psychological, and social well-being.
Wow. So mental health is our emotional and psychological well-being. Now, speaking of mindset as a whole, describe mindset, or how would you describe mindset or the mindset?
Okay. Well, mindset, I feel mindset is just like a person's worldview. You get like their philosophy of life.
Yeah.
It's a set of beliefs.
Yeah.
And those beliefs shape how we make sense of the world and yourself. It influences how you think too.
Yes.
And how you feel, how you behave in every situation. So you can already see that mindset and mental health are already relating.
Yes.
Yeah, just by their meaning, you could already see that. So that's what I feel mental health is. Mindset.
Thank you so much, Urunne. So now we're moving deeper into the main topic of today, which is the impact of the mindset on our mental health. As we have said earlier during the introduction, that the mindset is basically the root cause or the foundation to all these other mental health disorders that we hear about, like the anxiety, depression, and other ones. I can't even keep count. There are so many of them to mention. So now, what impact does our mindset have on our mental health? What's the impact, particularly, that the mindset have on the mental health? It could be negative or positive, but feel free to expatiate.
Okay, the impact of mindset on our mental health. First of all, you need to understand that your mindset plays a very critical role in how you cope with life challenges.
Yeah.
You get first of all, to understand this better, we need to know the two types of mindsets.
Okay.
The two main types of mindsets are the fixed and the growth mindset.
Okay.
And this fixed and growth mindset, they kind of contradict each other. The fixed mindset is this kind of mindset that just makes you feel wherever you are, that's how you are, that's how you should be. for example, like having a fixed mindset may leave young people like more vulnerable to developing mental health issues. Like people that believe that they cannot become smarter, like they're like less shy, or they are like more socially skilled, may feel unable to control unwanted life events and thus be more vulnerable to anxiety, depression, and aggression. Okay, maybe like this fixed mindset, to put it in simpler terms, and compare it with the growth mindset. Let's say this fixed mindset, an example can be like when someone tells yourself, I'm either good at it or I'm not. You get? But growth mindset is like I can learn to do anything I want. Like there's this positivity in the growth mindset. You get? There's this positive mindset there. Fixed mindset will say that's just who I am. I can't change it. But growth mindset will be I'm constantly evolving, work in progress. Like I am always learning.
True.
Fixed mindset will say if you have to work hard, you don't have the ability. Like if you have to work hard, you don't have, like, why would you think about yourself like that? Growth mindset will say the more you challenge yourself, the smarter you become. People see challenges like it's a bad thing. And people want to run away from challenges. Like it's not, that's not how life is. You have to actually face all the challenges to grow. Like why won't you not want to? Why are you stopping yourself from growing? Because you don't want to feel bad, because you don't want things to be difficult. Things will be difficult. This is life. You get? Fixed mindset will say if I don't try, then I won't fail. They're scared of failure. Wow. Growth mindset will say I only fail when I stop trying. Like you don't give in to all these things. You don't give in to the challenges. You get? You see challenges as a space for you to actually grow, to evolve. You get? Okay, fixed mindset will say the job position is totally out of my league. Growth mindset will say that the job position looks challenging. Let me apply for it. I'm going to give you a story. Recently, I've actually been trying to I am on this journey of self-awareness, and I'm trying to learn myself, learn who I am basically. And before that, I used to see all these job openings, and I'm like, they need a graphic designer. Who is this one? I can't even do anything like that. And I'll just leave it. You get? I'll see another job opening, be they need an event planner, event planning job. Okay, I cannot do this now. You get? Even if I know that I can learn from it, but I'm like, what if I fail? What if I don't know, something goes wrong? You get? It's just self-sabotaging. You get? I'm not giving myself the opportunity to actually learn stuff. And when you keep doing things like this, you don't actually give yourself the chance to know who you are. You're always in your comfort zone, always trying to protect yourself. But that's not life. When will you actually start living life? When will we actually start living life? Then this shift happened, and I actually started applying for any job, anyone that I feel okay, I can actually do this. You get? And most of them didn't call me back. But recently, I actually got one out of nowhere. And when I was talking to the woman, basically, she was actually telling me things that I could actually do. Not I know how to do it from beginning to the end, but I could actually learn from it. I'm I'm not seeing this job as a place where I can learn and grow, not a place where I can earn. You get? So your mindset actually plays an important role to how you actually navigate through life. You get? So the impact of the mindset on the mental health is very great, and it's very, very crucial. Everybody should be aware of this. Everybody should actually be aware of this. When I was growing up, first of all, I'm the fifth child in a family of 6. And I grew up in I had a very, very funny childhood, basically. And because of first of all, my dad didn't really have a complete education. So education is a big deal for him. And he made sure that all of us knew that. and he made sure that we actually fulfill his dreams of, not being educated. He wanted his children to be very, very educated, highly educated and everything. You get. So like I grew up with like 4 elder siblings, living their lives, going through whatever they are going through. I was actually torn between a lot of people's perspectives. You get. I didn't really know who I was, what I was doing. I was basically doing what I saw other people doing. And it just like came from this place of, okay, I'm doing this now. If I do this, I should get there. If I don't do this, I will not get there. Is it that I am good at this or not? You get. And because I was like that, like I was actually really scared of, okay, can I actually do this? Like I actually have to be very sure that I can write this exam and pass it before I even attempt to even write it. I have to be very sure that maybe I can do this project or travel to this place by myself. Like it affected a lot, and for the most part I wasn't actually very happy. Basically, I wasn't really a happy child growing up because I had all these influences on me. You get. And when I left my house to come to the university, I actually started seeing other people and how they live, and it was quite weird for me. And I could see people that had nothing, basically waking up every morning and smiling. Like, why are you smiling? You actually don't have anything. You get. Like, I see people that have no hope, but there is hope somewhere. Like, how are these people doing it? Like, it felt like a superpower. You get. And when I talk to them, have conversations with them, like, I actually see where their head is at. They are aware that things are not really like that for them, but they will still want to try. You get. And it's like, okay, looking at them and myself at that moment, I had no problem with paying my school fees. Like, that is what my dad is for. He loves to pay school fees. Like, I have no problem concerning anything about school. I have no problem with my bills. Like, the basic needs was like taken care of. But still, I wasn't satisfied. Like, why? You get. And I was actually not happy for the most part. You get. But seeing these people that actually don't have anything, wake up every day, even greet me with a smiling face, you get. It got me thinking. And I think that's where my whole journey began, mindset-wise. Like, I actually needed to take a step back and look at, like, evaluate everything, what has been going on with me, and kind of learn from other people. You get. But that didn't happen. That didn't happen until 2020, the ending of 2020. Because after the lockdown, a whole lot of stuff happened, so 2020 was like when the whole journey started for me. 2021, especially beginning of 2021, that's where I was actually very interested. Like, I felt like it was very important at that point in my life to actually know what is going on. So, like, a lot of things happened 2020 that kind of shaped the whole agreement I made with myself. So, like, before my birthday, on January 2021, kind of made a decision to actually take control of my life and figure out, like, what I want, basically, and what I was going to do. I had nothing in mind, but I was very determined to, take control, basically. Like, I knew that this is not how I wanted to carry on. That was a fact. So anything that I could do to change it, that's what I was very interested in. Now, I'm coming here to say this, like, you have to actually want. You have to want to change your mindset for you to change your mindset, basically. It's not something that somebody else can do for you. It's a very active process. You need to be ready to learn and unlearn a lot of things. And this was what I was actually willing to do. So I started from the basics first. I started, medically. they said it's good to exercise. So I started working out. I started eating healthy. I didn't know what I was doing yet. Then I actually started reading. Basically, not reading books per se, but reading other people's stories from Instagram, basically motivational stories, basically from Instagram, and it was kind of shaping, the way I was seeing some things, seeing things in general, and it obviously affected my character, and it's a very long process. It doesn't happen overnight. I'm still on the journey, but I know that I'm in a better place. I'm in a very, very better place. So I had to kind of, it took some time, but I had to kind of figure out what I want out of my life and distinguish myself aside from my siblings. I had to realize that I'm actually a different individual with different feelings and desires and likes and dislikes and wants and gifts. I'm a different person. My siblings, my family does not totally define me. So I had to, that alone, realizing that alone was actually so amazing. I kind of wrote a very long epistle in my family group chat, and I sent it there, and I was so scared. I'm as I've said this thing now, they are going to talk, or they will say this, they will say that. Although that happened, but I didn't care, basically. I just felt like it was time to be selfish, basically think about myself, because at the end of the day, my siblings are there going through their own stuff. They don't actually understand what's going on. They're not seeing me every day. I can't remember the last time I saw any of them, basically. So they're just different parts of the world, and I'm here going through all these things. I'm the one that actually knows what's going on with me. You get likewise, you that is hearing this now. It's only you that knows what's going on with you. Nobody else can tell you what's actually. So you actually have the power, the power is in your hands, basically, to change the narrative on your life. You get. So when I did that, I didn't know what I was doing, basically, but it was helping. So I just stayed on that journey to where I am now. The key to understanding and harnessing, this power, is knowing how to master your mindset. The stuff is that this mindset thing is very tricky. Yeah. You cannot define your mindset. You cannot define it. Your mindset is who you are. It's as a person, as an individual. This is your identity. Is your signature, basically. So you cannot just define it okay, this is how you're going to be. You must be like that. It's not going to work. You have to take this journey here. You need to be self-aware. You need to be self-aware. You need to want to learn about yourself. You get? Because you are in your house, basically. Most of these people that goes through this mental health stuff are youths. Yes. Why? Why is it always youths? Why is it youths? I feel like youths are just babies. They just came out from their parents' house with little or no supervision, and they are just in the semi-real world, maybe in university or something, and they are just lost, basically. And if you don't have a strong foundation, they're going to just blow you, and you just be going. True. That's why youths are so vulnerable to this mental health stuff. They're so vulnerable. That's why you start hearing about depression, you start hearing about stress and suicide and all those stuff. Youths actually go through a lot because they have no guidance, and especially in this Nigeria where nobody has time to be thinking about mental health. Nobody gives a damn about that. Only it's few people that are trying to make this stuff very make it as important as it should be.
Yes, true.
Because normally people don't actually know what's going on. Some people blame it on hormones. Maybe. But you are the one that is giving your hormones the tools to work with, basically. Yes. So like, why is it youths that are like exposed to these mental health issues? Because they're like babies in the real world. They do not know yet how to navigate, how to survive everything. Like everything is like new to them. Get? So I think that's alone, like from what I said, the impact on your the impact of your mindset on your mental health is very, very great. Like, cannot be undermined. It's very, 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 very important and very relevant. Yeah.
So thank you so much, Urunne. I mean, like, you've taken us through the whole journey, right from when you started and how it's going, basically. So from what you have said, I mean, like, this mental health and this mindset issue, or the mindset being like a basic foundation to the cause of mental health issues, what do you feel causes these negative thoughts or these negative mindsets? Because I mean, like, it's now becoming very, very rampant, and like we said earlier, or we cannot stop saying, is the mindset that is the birthing of the other mental health disorders. Everything still starts from the mindset. So speaking of the mindset and the mental health and how negatively it has affected people, especially the youths of nowadays. Now, at what point, or what do you feel, at what point does the human mind, or is the human mind conditioned to having a negative or a fixed mindset? Because I believe that it doesn't just come like that. I mean, something must have happened or something must have led to it. So what do you feel causes these points that a human being or a youth is now forced to having a negative or a fixed mindset, not a growth mindset? And then you can also give illustrations of how this negative mindset have badly affected people, or is still affecting people till date.
Okay. First of all, you need to know that your mindset works as a foundation of your experiences in this world. You get? So let's go back a bit. Let's rewind back to a bit. Let's take for example a child now in his home, with his parents. Maybe let's say 7 years, 6 years, 7 years, and there are two things or two ways like this mindset of a thing can be established in a child, either fixed mindset or growth mindset. You know, when a child does something, there's a kind of way like parents kind of label what a child does. You get? For example, a study like shows how kids behave differently depending on the type of praise they receive. They found out that like personal praise or praising a child's talent or labeling them as smart promotes a fixed mindset. It sends a message to a child that they either have an ability or they don't, and that there is nothing they can do to change that fact. But a processed praise, you get, on the other hand, emphasizes the effort a person puts in to accomplish a task. It implies that their success is due to the effort and the strategy they use, both of which they can control and improve over time. So let me give you an example of how different they are. Okay, if a child, maybe that 7-year-old child, has a good grade, maybe in the math test, a personal praise might be like, see, you're good at maths, you got an A, you get, good job. It's making the child feel like, okay, because I got an A, then I did a good job. If I did maybe get an A, maybe I got a B or a C, I didn't do a good job, you get. But like, if you give your child this process praise, you get, this process praise, like, you're telling the child, like, I'm impressed by how hard you have studied for your math test, you read the material over time, several times, asked your teacher to help you figure out the tricky problems, and tested yourself on it. That really worked. It's like You're just actually letting your child know that it's not because of, like, even if your child like got a B, basically, it's still something, because like your child actually put like effort, in the math test, and actually earned that B. You get? So this fixed mindset, basically, I feel like it comes from past conditioning. You get? Your past experiences. How have people, like important people around you, reacted to the things you have done? What do they expect of you? What pressure are you feeling? What do you feel like you should be doing? You get? What do you feel like you should be getting done? You get? And also it comes from like this, okay, how do you actually see yourself? Some people don't actually love themselves. You get? Because of like maybe they have gone through a lot and people have said a lot of things to them, or I don't know, experiences basically, and they don't just value themselves, they don't love themselves, they don't even like rate themselves. You get? I was once like that. I was one that I don't actually before I do not rate myself actually for anything. You get? And that came from like a lot of, because I felt like I disappointed important people, and I felt the disappointment firsthand. You get? So I kind of like limited myself, based on this fixed mindset of a thing. Like maybe I was like, okay, I didn't get into so and so university because I'm not smart enough to get there. I didn't. But looking back right now, I actually put in the work. I actually read for these exams and I did my best. And because of one or two things, I couldn't go to those universities. So it doesn't actually mean that I didn't deserve it or I didn't do well. You get? But why were they disappointed at me at that moment in time? I don't know. Till now, I will not know. But it's just that this fixed mindset comes from your past experiences, basically. Your mindset works with what you have. It takes like data from your head, from past experiences, past memories, and tries to make sense out of it and just gives it to you as information. You get? And you kind of accept it, like this is what it is, basically. You need to actually determine whether your thoughts serve you or hurt you. Your mind can be your powerful ally or your greatest enemy. So when you need to actually recognize when you have this fixed mindset. Because a mindset that is not helping you, basically, is not good for you. A mindset that is limiting you, that is making you sad and depressed, that is making you not satisfied with life, that is making you, I don't know, restless, it's not good for you. It doesn't mean you won't have those kind of feelings, those feelings of sadness. Maybe you're tired, you are sad. What else? You are angry. It doesn't mean you won't have these feelings, but whenever they come, you're in this place of acceptance. You know that that's not actually who you are. That's not actually where you are going to be for the rest of your life. Like, it's a temporary something. And because of that, you put effort to come out from those situations, to come out from those emotions, like those emotions of sadness. You just know that you just have to help yourself a bit. Because if you actually think of it, like, there won't be sadness if there was no happiness, There won't be anger if there was no laughter. All these things are just there, just like a balance. So at some point you experience all these things, but you know that this is not positive energy, and you be more interested in, getting out of it. So that's why some people do not really like wallow in their sadness, and that's why some people would actually wallow in their sadness and be depressed and stressed and angry, which will not lead them to do a lot of rubbish and nonsense because they are feeling whatever they are feeling and they cannot just let it go, So yeah, your fixed mindsets, those negative mindsets, they come from your past, basically.
Oh yeah, thank you so much, Urunne, for answering that question. Now, to be honest, while you were speaking, I could simply just resonate with every single thing that you said. Not that I have any past, any past issues or condition, but while you were speaking, you saying that the mindset really has or can affect the mental health, which can also lead to depression and a lot of other mental health disorders. Because of the mindset that maybe you feel that you're smart or you're good or you shouldn't feel, you put in all the work, like you said when you wrote the exam, and you put in all the work, and then maybe you didn't get into the university that's the one you wanted initially, and your family or your friends gave this disappointment kind of vibe, yeah. So which also made you to be very kind of downcast, and the rest of them. To be honest, I can just resonate because there was a point this semester, when I saw my results. To be honest, all the work I put in that department, chemical engineering, all the work I put in, it was feeling like my effort is not equating my result. Not that I was failing anyways, but the amount of, if it's that I was not putting that so much work, at least, and I was getting such results, at least it will be justified that at least last you're not putting so much work. But this one that I'm putting so much, literally on my table every day, I'm working so hard and I'm seeing results that it's just somehow for me. Maybe I'm supposed to have an A, I'm seeing a B, and I'm I don't understand, what am I not doing well? So this thing led to me, I was somehow down, depressed. I was what am I not doing well? How am I not doing? Is it I'm not writing it? Is it I'm not answering the questions properly? Is it I'm not? And it keeps you, or it made me to be asking myself why, so much whys, why and what or hows. How am I not doing it? How am I supposed to do it? And it also led to overthinking. I was constantly overthinking and always very scared. Even when I'm always going to go and check my result, I'm always very, very scared. I'm what next will happen? I don't know again. What will I expect? That kind of thing. So it led me to, I don't want to call it proper depression, but if it was not well taken care of, it would have been a serious kind of or acute depression. Because that moment, I was just down. I woke up one particular night and I was just screaming. I was just shouting. Why? Everything not working. And then also the fact that, let's say I'll get jobs sometimes, job openings, names that I want to do this for me. I'm okay, fine. Within how many days or so, one thing or the other, but that job will just scatter. I will not get to do that job again or something. To be honest, if it's you, my dear, you will be depressed. You start thinking, what is causing this issue? So that moment was really a trying time for me, to be honest. But you can say that. That's why I said that I could easily resonate from what you were saying.
Yeah, what you actually went through is very common, basically. People put in effort for something and they don't really see the results that they want. Yes. You need to know and you need to understand that it's actually the results that you want that you're not seeing. But it doesn't mean that you're not getting any results at all. You when you are entering a journey, everybody knows what they want to get out of it.
Yes, sure.
You get, but usually it's not what they actually get out of it. People who try to do something and feel okay, the result is that they want is actually what they actually need, but it's not really like that. For example, this the whole putting effort in the exam and it's not really showing. You need to understand basically okay, leave the result that you wanted. That obvious one, you put effort, you get an A, you get a B, you get a good grade basically. Good grades are actually very good and very nice. You get it to stay with you for life, yes. But good grades are not the only thing that they are not the only results you get. You get. When they say this, every disappointment is a blessing. Actually, it's actually true. You get. people want to actually like put effort and actually see the results that they want, but they end up getting a result that they are not even aware of. You get, like me, I passed the exams, but somehow I didn't reach enter the universities, and it was very annoying because like I felt like I shouldn't be here, I shouldn't be in this photo, like I should be somewhere else. You get, but looking back now, like I feel like looking back, like right now, I'm actually grateful that I am actually here in this school. You get, like everything that has happened that brought me to this point, I'm actually very grateful. You may think that the result thing, maybe you're not getting like the grades that you wanted and everything, is very frustrating. You get, but maybe while you are too busy finding grades or trying to get good grades, you're actually training and building yourself in things that are going to help you in the future that you don't even know yet, like you're not even aware of. But when it actually starts happening, you recognize it like immediately, like, wow, okay, this is why this thing was happening. You know, when you're like studying for all these tests and exams, and then you meet people, meet different people, you meet like minds, you have their contacts, you get invited to stuff, you make valuable friendships, you learn stuff, you get more exposed. That's greater than good grades, basically. The universities that apply to them, the grades are the thing that are going to attract you to them, your good grades. But what's going to keep you with them is basically what else you can offer. Like, what's the extracurricular activities? What else are you doing? Who are you, basically, aside from the good grades you get? So this also can also be where the mindset thing plays out. You know, maybe had that fixed mindset, like, okay, as I'm writing this exam now, I'm going to be getting my good grades ASAP, as I'm putting the efforts. But you know, you need to understand and you need to accept that, like, no matter what you do, hard work pays. Whether you get the good grade, maybe you're not getting what you, but that hard work did not go in vain. It went somewhere, but you don't know yet. You need to accept that fact, whether it's hard or not. But when you accept it, you have peace. You know, you have this peace of mind, like, okay, anyways, we move. Again, at the end of the day, everybody's going to die. Everybody's going to die one day. All this stress will go. Yeah. Why are you killing yourself for things that won't even last? Like, basically, like things that you actually leave behind. At the end of the day, we should all calm down. We should stop stressing. It's not that deep. Well, that's what my sister is saying. Machi, we always say it's not that deep. And it's to go against every other people's philosophy. Machi is like my immediate elder sister. I have other ones that will say totally different things in situations. Yes. So that's what I feel about your own story, Nene.
Wow, thank you so much, Urunne. I mean, like, that was very soothing to hear. So before we wrap up, now we believe that growth is gradual, and obviously it is, yes. So we learn every day. Same thing applies to our mental health. And then this mental health shift too in general. Now, how can one gradually get to the point of a mindset shift from a negative mindset, like, to getting to a positive mindset? Because once a positive mindset is attained, I mean, it improves everything in general. Your academic, social, psychological functioning, and the rest of them. So how is the transitioning like? How do you gradually get into that space for a positive mindset or a growth mindset?
Yeah, that's a very good question. You know, to shift your mindset, you have to be self-aware. You know, you have to be honest with yourself. You don't sugarcoat anything. You don't pamper yourself. You tell yourself the truth. If you're doing something, I know that you're not doing it well. Tell yourself that you're not doing it well. You need to want to change. You cannot just like be passive about it. You need to be an active participant in changing your mindset. Actually, and you know, your mindset and your mental health is actually subjective to the person. Nobody else is carrying your head. It's you that know how it's doing you. You get. So when this mindset thing is, although like yes, like you listen to podcasts like this, maybe you hear words from other people, you read other stuff, they are to guide you and shape you. They're not like telling you what to do per se. You look inward to yourself and you make the decision that you want to change, you want to be better, you want to feel better, and anything that can help you, you basically try it out. You get. So to have that shift here from the negative mindset to a positive mindset, I have like 4 steps that you can take. First of all, the first one is you have to focus on the journey, not the destination. It's very easy to focus on the destination. Okay, if I do this and do that, I will have a positive mindset. It doesn't work like magic. You focus on the journey. That is very important because that's where you learn about yourself. That's where you would actually understand why your mind's working the way it's working. The second thing you can do is to incorporate yet. By yet, I mean like, okay, I cannot do this. Don't stop there. Be like, I cannot do this yet. You need to know, like, you need to be aware that these things that you feel that you cannot do, you can actually do them. It's just that you have not put the effort or you have not actually taken the necessary steps to do them. The third one is to pay attention to your words and thoughts. That's where the whole being true to yourself comes in. You listen to yourself. You basically listen to yourself every time. How are you talking to yourself? How do you talk to yourself? How do you communicate to yourself? What do you say about yourself? Because that's like the opinion that actually matters. You get? Yeah, you listen to yourself basically. You have to do a lot of thinking. You have to do a lot of reevaluation. It's just like having a journal. If you have a journal and every day you go to the journal and you write about everything that happened, how you felt, how did it make you feel, what did you do about it, you're actually paying attention to yourself again. And like I said before, you don't define your mindset. You get what you can just do is to master your mindset and try to like direct it to the place that you want it to be. By paying attention to your words, you replace negative thoughts with positive ones. That's very hard, by the way. All this is I'm saying. It's very easy saying it, but
positive affirmation.
Yeah, but doing it is very hard. It's not like very hard, but it's not as easy as it seems. There's this contact I have, like every time on his WhatsApp status, he will always post, "Today is the best day of my life." He does that every time. And I'm like, who is this person that is every time this is the best day of my life? And he will do this thing and then the next post he's ranting about something or he's complaining about something. Like, why does this guy like do this thing every time? Today is the best day of my life. And I asked him the question and he answered me that it's just like a positive affirmation. Like, okay, what if today is the last day he lives? What will he do with it? These are where people are using their mindset to actually make changes. You get, you bring new things to the world, positive things to the world, teach people. You get, so that's also paying attention to your words. The last thing is to take on challenges. Wow, this is you leaving your comfort zone. Like, you need to step out a bit. You get, test the waters, take something, do something, challenge yourself. You get, you can't be sitting down and complaining about how things are not going well for you. Okay, what are you doing about it? Everybody else has their own life to live. Nobody's going to live your own life for you. So you better stand up and do the work. Stand up and make yourself better. See, coming from, I am actually talking from experience. It's so much better knowing who you are. I've not even figured out myself completely, but the little I've known, I'm actually at peace with myself. And I'm actually doing things that I have not done before, and it's very exciting. Get these are just 4 little ways you can unfix this fixed mindset of a thing. You know, like your mindset works as a foundation of your experiences in this world. The same events can happen to different people, and everyone will react differently. Like something can happen to, like your class. Let's say they gave everybody a grade below each other. Like maybe if you got A, they'll give you B, and all that. You get like everybody will react differently. Some people might not be happy about it. Some people will be so angry and they want to hit some. Like you see different reactions to the same thing. Why? Because of their mindset. How are they looking at it? You get the same event can happen to different people and everyone will react differently based on the mindset they hold. You get at the end of the whole thing, the exciting thing about this mindset of the thing is that it can be changed. You can challenge and replace your underlying assumptions about life. Assumptions to be emphasized, because nobody actually knows life. Like you don't actually know your life. You just make assumptions about everything that is happening around you based on the data you have collected in your head. So you can replace your underlying assumptions about life. You don't have to stay stuck where you are now. In fact, the simple act of learning about your mindset can alleviate depression and anxiety. And that's very true. Like just being at that space where you are open to learn about yourself.
Yes, or you have a tendency of improving or wanting to improve on your mindset.
Yeah, like
you said, it's an alleviation for depression and the rest of them.
Yeah, like that. You're taking like baby step to the right direction. So even when you feel sad and depressed, those ones, like you don't see it like, okay, this stuff has happened now. This is how I am now, and this is how I shall be. No, it's like it's a process, like a cycle. True. You will live it. In fact, the more you learn about yourself, the more you just want to enjoy yourself, and the only time you enjoy yourself is when you are happy. Yeah, so you would like you can't wait to leave that anger and depression and that stress and anxiety. Like you can't wait. Anything that you can do to help yourself, you do it. You get. You need to be determined, though. You need to be determined whether your thoughts, like you need to determine basically whether your thoughts serve you or hurt you. You get. You need to know the things be aware of what you're telling yourself. You get. Check the things you're saying. Check the things other people are saying about you. Basically, they say that you don't listen to what people are saying. Blah blah blah. Actually, listen to what people are saying. And what I mean, people, like people that matter, like people that you have actually spent time with, not random people. Like people that you have actually spent time with. Listen to what they are saying, and listen to what you're also telling yourself. You get. Changing the mindset. It takes time. You need to be patient. It's not something that you can rush. It's a process. It takes years. It might take months for you, depending on how bad you are, like how your situation is. It takes time. It's not something you can rush, basically. And I think that's just what I have to say about that.
Wow. I mean, like my mouth is just opened in agape. Agape. Like I'm just still remembering all that she has said, all that she has been saying throughout this whole episode. And I must really commend that, Urunne, you have really said so much. Like you said, you have not totally or discovered yourself. You're still on a journey. So the same thing applies to everyone listening to this episode. Don't be too hard on yourself. Like she said, it's not that deep. So take every step gradually, and as the day goes by, you keep unraveling and keep knowing other sides to yourself or to you in particular. So there's one thing I'll say: the mindset, like she said, can be changed. It just depends on the gravity of the kind of of the mental health issue that's doing you at that point in time. But to be honest, in summary, the mindset can be changed.
Can I I say something?
Sure, you can.
Yeah, your mindset, just an overview and a summary, basically. Let's just take a step back and listen. Your mindset, like I said before, is a collection of thoughts, patterns, and beliefs that shape your view of reality. It's a story that you tell yourself about your identity and about the world around you. Your mindset can be your shield, your unbreakable armor that makes your spirit strong and lets it soar. It can be the sword you fall on. And the best part is, the choice is yours. You have the power to change your mindset. You need to want it to do it. No one is going to do it for you. You have the full power over your mindset and the thoughts you think. And the thoughts you think in response to your life. The only questions remain, like the question you should be asking yourself right now is, does your mindset support you and your spirit, or does it depress you? Does your mindset empower, or does it disempower you? Does it create anxiety? Does your mindset help you learn from your experiences, or does it convince you that you are not enough and that is why? You need to ask all these questions. The exciting thing about the mindset is it can be changed, basically. And the simple act of learning about your mindset can alleviate that depression you're feeling and that anxiety. And this is me urging everyone listening to this podcast to, take a step back and reevaluate your life. We are coming to the end of 2021, and this is the time for self-reflection.
True.
And you need to actually understand where you are and where you want to go to. Let us all be positive. Especially in the university and youth of these days, we are being swayed by a lot of things that are happening, and they're kind of losing focus. You need to go back. See, if you have a very strong foundation, nothing is going to stop you. It's going to be very hard for something to stop you. Not nothing's going to stop you. It's going to be very hard for something to stop you if you have a strong foundation. Yeah, just set your mind right, basically. Anything you're doing, do it well. If it's not working out like you feel like it should work out, just know that things are not really as it seems. You don't know what is going to happen tomorrow. You don't know what's going to happen at that very moment. You get. Just focus on the journey. We all make mistakes. Human beings, we make a lot of mistakes, and that's how we learn. And always try to step out of your comfort zone once in a while. You don't actually have to be comfortable, especially now that you're a youth and you have a lot of time and your life is a bit more flexible. Because when you're an adult, you have a lot of responsibilities and there's some things that you cannot try anymore. But as a young youth, you have a lot of time and you have you can actually do a lot of things. You can try new things. You can start a podcast. You can start doing those things that you feel scared to do or you're not so sure of. And the pressures that you lay on yourself is not actually necessary. Don't pressure yourself. Don't pressure yourself, basically, about anything that is happening to you. Everything is going to be fine. I think that's what I have to say. I'm really glad that I was on this podcast. It was we had this coming for a long time, but here I am.
Okay. Thank you so much, Urunne. I'm super excited to have you two on the episode. And before I conclude, or before it's a wrap, let's not also forget the God factor. Remember, there is nothing that God cannot do. I mean, if He puts it to Him, He said that we should lay all our burdens to Him and leave them there. So if you're still having problems of this mindset shift from a negative to positive mindset, so that you can also get rid of depression and the rest of them, just put it to God in prayers, and I believe that is going to help you. Thank you so much, guys, for listening. It's a wrap from our own end. The cast with Neye signing out right now. Bye.